Let's let a few of you come online first. It takes a bit of a delay to social media, I believe. It's been a while. Smile, people. See a few of you coming on. Hello, Lee Britton. I can see you well. Ian Chesterman. I can see you well. Hub Girlins. Hello, Lee. Nervous. Well, I just spoke to Roger. He rang me and he said that he was at the racetrack. So I was like in panic stations, and then he's now in the race truck. So yeah, so he's going to be in the race truck. So at least we're getting him on. So fingers crossed it all goes okay. So then I'll get my thank yous out of the way. Roger should be coming on in a minute. I said to him to click on the link then. We've just tested it just a minute ago, so I have seen him in the race truck already. Anyway, right then, people. Lee Ashby here, Motocross and Speedo Memories. Good to be back on. It's been since Boxing Day evening since I've been on with the live, so it's good to be back. I'm just going to do my thank yous quickly before we get into it. Big thanks for the support to Simon Pardo of White Eagle Finance. They give quality financial advice for pensions, mortgages, investments and protection. Check his website out at www.whiteeaglefinance.co.uk. Big thanks to the legend Stefan Everts with his S72 gin and vodka brand. Check out his amazing products out at www.s72gin.com. And also big thanks to Lee Owen of Owen Developments. They specialise in supplying turbochargers to a global customer base covering motorsport, performance aftermarket and OEM sectors. Check them out on the shop side on www.owenturbos.com and also www.owendevelopments.co.uk. I've got my Owen Developments t-shirt. Thanks for that, Lee, through the post. Hello, Keel. How's it going? Who won last night's Supercross, Lee Britton's put? I believe it was Tomac, mate. Good evening, Morris. How's it going? Connor Stenner. Glad to see you guys have all put your clicked on the link so I can see all your names. That's cool. Thank you very much for that. So hopefully I'll get Roger on in a second. We've nearly got 100 people on live already. I have already spoken to the man. He's in the race truck because he's actually at the track. There was a few panic stations on for a minute. Hi, Dan Merrifield. How's it going, mate? Hi, James Stenner. Looking forward to this one. Good man. So yeah, fingers crossed it'll all be okay. There was a few panic stations on. He said to me he thought it was over the phone. So there's a bit of a panic. Said no, it was the video thing that we said. Connor Stenner, evening Lee, this is going to be the quickest hour of your life. Yep, 100%. It's going to be like Jeff Stanton live farming. Questions. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, wow. It's an absolute privilege to get someone on like this, isn't it? So whether he said 5 minutes or an hour or 10 minutes, I was taking it all day. So it's all good. Right. So hopefully I'll get Roger on in a minute. Let's just give him a quick text to say, come on. Can click on. Ooh, texting Roger Da Costa. He just rang me just a minute ago and nearly had like breakdown. Oh dear. Right, I did get a few of your guys' questions as well before the man comes. That I've sort of incorporated into I've got 32 questions down ready here. I did see some of yours online. A couple mentioned about Travis Pastrana and a couple of little things like that. So I've got that in there. Hopefully we can get that in. Hi, Nick Waite. How's it going? Roger Da Costa in your contacts, mental. Trust me, I know. It's crazy. When he rang me and I did that, you look at the phone, you think, really? Roger Da Costa's ringing me? Really? You do that like, hello? Oh, crazy. My phone is mad now with the people that are on my phone. Sometimes I just literally look through the contacts doing that like, ooh. I still get super excited when I get a WhatsApp off Stefan Everts. Do that like, you know, my buddy Stefan. Oh, crazy. Right, here we go then. So then, people, I'll get the introductions underway as soon as I can get Roger. Right, okay. I can see the man, so I will get on with this 30-second countdown of the intro. I might need an extra 30 seconds for this intro. I will try to get it all in on the first go, but a lot to say about this man. Right then, so I'm going to get it going then, people. Great to see you all online. 100 people online already. Thanks very much for coming on. We've all been looking forward to this one, so let's try and get the intro underway then. Here we go. Right then, people, I've got 5 times 500cc World Motocross Champion, 4 times winner of the Trans AMA MX Series, 9 times Belgium National Champion, 6 times Motocross the Nations winner with Team Belgium. He's been team manager for Honda, team manager for Suzuki. He made them a winning team again with Suzuki. Greg Albertine winning the AMA 250 Nationals was Suzuki's first in 18 years. See, I told you I'd need another 30 seconds, didn't I? 2010, he was named as FIM Legend for his motorcycling achievements. His stature is such in the sport of motocross that he is often simply referred to as the man. It's Mr. Roger Da Costa. How's it going, Roger?
Good, very good.
I tried to get my intro into a 30 seconds. It wouldn't happen in, Roger.
Yeah, it's good to be back racing, and with all the stuff going on, we feel lucky that we can do what we like to do, even with all the roadblocks and all that. But it's still good to be racing.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to get you on, Roger. I really appreciate your time. Thanks very much for making time to do this with us. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So then, Roger, what we'll get into first of all is your thoughts on the first. I can see you're in the race truck there, in the Red Bull KTM truck. Your thoughts on the first 2 rounds of the Supercross of the new season then?
Well, it's been there's a lot of young guys, a lot of young blood, and the racing has been pretty hectic, and results have been up and down, and but we are happy that there is in the top 8 riders there's only 7 points difference in the championship points, so yeah. Everything is very tight, very close, and I think things are going to sort itself out a little bit more in the next 2 or 3 races, and then I think the consistency, the riders that have the consistency and the experience are going to start to rise, I believe.
Yeah. I see, obviously, just see last night's Cooper Well obviously did a lot better and come 4th last night, wasn't it? And yeah. Marvin obviously had a little fall when he was in a good position, but still finished in the top 6. Like you said, the top 7 or 8 is all close anyway, so there's nothing to be won or lost at the moment. So you must be happy with the guys in the first couple of rounds, really.
Yeah, we're worried, but happy that our company with the 3 teams and all that, we in the hunt. Basha winning last week was awesome. Unfortunately, yesterday he ended up landing on one of the tough blocks, broke off the shift lever and was stuck in first gear for a bunch of laps, and still managed to get a top 10.
Yeah, he looked obviously on fire last week.
Yeah, he's still in the points lead by 1 point, but he's still in the lead. So.
Yeah, just saw that. So it was something about Roxon got some points taken away as well. Is that right?
Yeah, there was a crash in one of the lines, and the Red Cross flag came out, and he jumped on the flag, on the Red Cross flag, along with Jason Anderson and 2 or 3 other riders. So they took a couple of positions away. It happened to us with Dungey a few years ago, and and yeah, it happened before.
Yeah, it's happened before. Obviously, there's a lot of rookies out there. Obviously, Max Voland as well. He's looking doing very well.
Yeah, he is really young, and less than a year ago he was still racing 80s.
Yeah,
So he is a steep learning curve to address, but I think he has the talent and the mindset. I think that he can learn a lot this year, and hopefully he can be competitive for a podium for 22.
yeah.
That's
He looks a brilliant. He looks a brilliant talent. So we look forward to seeing how he gets on. Okay, I'll get into some questions then. Obviously, I wanted to ask you about the.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Is that the
Uh,
ringtone? Is that the ringtone, Roger?
that was Austria calling, actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the famous motocross boots you did with the Alpine Stars, Roger DaCosta on them. How did that come about with your involvement with that and that situation? It was very cool.
My start with Alpine Stars.
Yeah, when you had the boots, yeah.
Uh, yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, so you take it. You can take the call.
Guinea. Hey, can I call you back in about an hour? I'm on an interview with English station. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Bye. Yeah. Bye bye. All right.
Busy time of the year as well, Roger. It's all
Yes.
go again. It's all go.
Yes. Well, yeah, Alpine Stars. Um, I had a journalist actually from Italy asking me if I would be interested to talk to Alpine Stars. They were at the beginning. They were making boots for cross country skiing, and at that time they were all leather. And that was just about the time that the ski manufacturers started going to plastic molded boots. So I think Alpine Stars, Sante Mazzarolo, the owner, was looking for a way to to develop more business and shift some of that ski business to motorcycles. And so I met with them and went to the factory in Asolo, Italy, and spent some time. And he was very interested in making a good product, and a bit stubborn also. But I have started working with them in about 1970, I think it was, and still friends with the family and his son Gabriel, who is you see him all over the world at the F1 races, the MotoGP races, the Motocross, Supercross. He follows everything. He flies more miles than I think than anybody in the world.
Yeah. What would you say? What riders did you look up to and idolize when you were young, then, Roger? And did you ever get to race? When you, what riders did you look up to and idolize when you were young, looking up at those?
I liked a lot the Swedish riders. Was at that time it was Sten Lundin, then Rolf a little bit after that, and I like the way their trailers behind their cars, and they usually had really nice trailers. They usually had the Mercedes diesel at the time. That was the car to have if you were a motocross guy and traveled a lot with the trailer. And yeah, I followed them a lot, and I became very good friends with Dave Bickers also, and we traveled together for several years in the US with for the Trans AMA series, and we spent a lot of time together. And um, I asked him many times for advice, and he was a really cool guy, and I got to know Sylvia a little bit, his wife, and that um, really nice.
Yeah. I've had a Hub Gerlins from Holland has just come online with a question. He's put hello Roger. Who was the greatest talent you've worked with? That's a bit of a hard one.
I've been lucky to have
Mm,
worked with a lot of good riders. I've
mm,
been really lucky with that. And but the talents are different. Some have the physical talent, some have the
mm,
mental talent,
mm,
the ability to focus, um, the brains to sort out what their weak point is,
mm,
and I think one of the biggest character I've seen between the champions is the guys that take responsibility for the outcome of what they do. They're usually the ones that become champions and go the farthest.
Is it the guys that you like working with that listen and sort of obviously there's obviously some guys that are probably not so easy to work with.
Well, it's getting more and more difficult in a way because there's more and more people involved. As the sport get bigger, there's more money, so
Mm.
there's more people that have an opinion, and there's more people that hang on, and the riders get put left and right,
Mm,
and they it's important that they have some advice, but I think the hardest thing for the rider is to sort out who is real behind them or who is
mm,
just interested on making money
yeah,
from them.
yeah, yeah. It's difficult, isn't
And that's the hard thing, and there's a lot of good talkers and
it?
a lot less
Yeah,
people that are willing to do the hard work and to
yeah,
be there when the riders really need the help. When they're winning, they don't need the help.
yeah.
When they're not winning, or when they go to a crisis or get an injury or something, that's when they need the support.
I've got a Peter Harvey's just put. He's still got his Alpine Stars, 46 years on.
Yeah, allow Peter. Yeah,
That's cool. I've got Steve Carty. He's put. Was the Suzuki team of Sylvain Gabors, Joel Robert, and Roger his dream team?
yeah, that was cool. I was I traveled with Joel a lot also in the during the Transam times, and but I was actually got closer to Sylvan because we got more involved with working on the bike. We working on the bike together for several years, especially when the bikes shifted from the what was at the time the regular suspension travel and all that to moving the shocks forward and more wheel travel. So Sylvain, we did a lot of work together, and I got to know him really well. And then when he was instrumental in bringing me back to Suzuki after I had worked at Honda for about 15 years, 13 years actually.
Awesome. Who are your closest rivals throughout your career, Roger? And who did you really enjoy with racing with in your career?
Well, in the World Championship, the most years we fought together
Mm,
was with Eiki Mikura
yeah,
in the World Championship, and in the US.
yeah.
My toughest competitor was Bob Hanna.
Yeah.
He was strong, fit, and eager to fight always. And uh, but then in in the world championship, of course, at the beginning when trying to fight with Aberg, Johnson, um, those guys, and uh, was
So many.
many yeah over the year. And, in
Um,
Belgium, we had a lot of international events in Belgium where we had all the top guys from England, from Sweden, and and from all around Europe. Belgium was at that time very popular with international events and midweek events. I think some years I did over 50 events a year.
Wow.
And so
A lot of riding.
did more races. We did not ride as many practice days as they do today, but
Yeah.
we raced more race days.
I've got a question from Nick Waite. He's put, does Roger have any family members who ride at all?
My oldest son rode a little bit, and my youngest son from my first marriage actually also rode a little bit, but they never rode competitively. And two of my brothers did race a little bit. One of them was I think had the talent, but he did not have the desire to be there, and do the work and to be there all the time.
Yeah. So it's more of a fun thing for them. I've got Bob Stacey. He's put, what is Roger's most memorable moment when riding? Good and bad, and favorite track in the world and why?
Favorite track was probably Namur. In the US, Namur, and in Belgium, Namur, and in the US it was Unadilla. Unadilla was probably the most natural track in the US, and it's still quite a good track today.
Yeah. Is it? Did you prefer the natural type of tracks like that? Not too many jumps and all that sort of thing.
Well, at the time, in my generation, the jumps, it was mostly natural tracks, and when they did make a jump, they did not put a landing on it, so you would land on a flat landing,
and quite heavy,
and the suspension of the bikes at the time was not what it is today, also. So.
Yeah.
But I like the track with a lot of elevation. The more elevation, the better for me, and that's maybe one of the reasons I also like Namur, and I like the tracks in Italy and France. Elevation, and if there was grass, it was cool. I like Farley Castle a lot.
I was going to ask you that.
Donington. Masham's Park was not so much fun, because only if you had the whole shot it was good, because all the little pebbles.
Yeah, it's not good.
Riding behind a machine gun or something.
Yeah, I've rode there. They weren't good, the old pebbles there at Matcham's. Did you actually? I did have a question as well. That apparently someone told me that didn't you have a part to play in a design of the old Fox and Hounds track in Newbury in Reading, near in the UK? You had a part to play in the design, apparently, of the old Fox and Hounds track in Newbury, apparently.
I think Dave Bickerson and I did a little bit of work and suggestion on some of the changes on the track, but that was about the extent of it.
Right, okay, cool. So you did enjoy Farley, and you said about Donington as well. Did you ride Hawkstone in the UK as well? Or?
Yeah, Hawkstone. I like the downhill.
Yeah,
big time. Favorite part of Hawkstone.
Yeah, big old uphill and downhill, that's for sure. Yeah. Did you ever? You didn't get to, obviously. I don't think you raced at Fox Hill in the UK, did you?
No, that was that race came about after I had already quit.
Yeah. Did you go there? Was you there that the year the Nations was there?
I'm sorry.
Was you? Did you go to Fox Hill when the Nations was there?
Yes.
Yeah, you were there. What do you think of that track? That's my home track.
Yeah, it's good. It's big. Yeah, it's a nice place. England has a lot of nice tracks, actually.
Yeah, quite a variety. Yeah.
You're lucky.
Yeah. The trouble is, Roger, a lot of them these days are sort of shut in with the times. Is it like that in Belgium? What's the tracks like situation in Belgium and America? Are
Yeah,
they shutting?
I am not so much in connection with Belgium on a regular basis, but
Yeah.
I know that they have a lot of problems with
Mm,
maybe more than England
mm,
with losing tracks, and Belgium is so congested. There is very little free land anymore these days, and so it is, I think, tougher and tougher for the promoters to find a good place.
yeah. What was your? Did you have a favorite race bike that you rode during your career? Was there a favorite one that you enjoyed?
Probably my '72 Suzuki. Um, yeah, that
Was that?
was an awesome bike. It was light, it was reliable, and I was also in the best moment of my career around that time, and
Yeah,
so yeah, that was
must
brings
have been your
back good
favorite.
memories. That bike.
Yeah, very good. Did you have a favorite race number in your career? I know, obviously, in the World Championships and all that sort of thing, you tended to have the number where you finished. But was there a certain number that you really liked when you raced with? What?
Um, I I seem to like number two maybe the most.
Yeah,
Um, I like two. I like one also, of course, but um, I was not so stuck on a number. I thought if you got on the podium, any number looks good.
yes, hopefully. Yeah, I've got a nice one of you here on the Honda in the Honda gear with the bike with the number two on, and a nice one there.
Yeah, number two and number five, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very very nice, very nice. What was your favourite sort of time of your career? Was that on that Suzuki as well? Was that the favourite sort of time of your career? Was that when you felt like at your best?
I think I was at my best, yes, in '72 through 77. That's probably my 5 6 best years. Um, I I started. I did not start as young as some of the riders, and then I was slowed down a little bit by a kidney injury, so that I felt that I probably lost a year there of because I was not fit enough right away. It took me a while to get fitness back.
Yeah.
Um, but and it At that time there was also more differences between the bikes and the performance of the bikes. Today, the race bikes, the top bikes have gotten extremely close. If you take the geometry of the bikes today and you measure the different brands, you would notice that everything is within millimeters.
Yeah, very
And
close. Yeah.
so, um, depending on the year, in my generation, the results were more influenced by by the performance of the bike and by how the bike fitted a certain track.
Mm,
In uh, Husqvarna had a character that made him maybe better on a sandier track. CCs were more on the faster, harder pack track, maybe better.
yeah.
Um, then when Suzuki came, uh, one of the advantages they had beside the weight was they had a carburetor that the bike run quite a bit cleaner than anything of the on the European bikes, and mostly due to the carburetor. The Mikuni carburetor at that time was a step ahead,
Yeah.
and so there was more variety in the performance and how
Mm,
the bike fitted the racetrack, and there was not all the tools that the teams have today to make the bike tune the bike for different conditions.
Yeah, it seems like with the motocross and the supercross now, it's such a fine line, isn't there? Even we see in the qualifying times and in the race times, it's literally hundreds of a second between the whole field. So it's not much
Yeah,
margin for errors, are there?
yeah. Last night there was 14 riders in within 1 second.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It certainly looks very stacked out there, the field this year, that's for sure. Very sure. Right, I've got Bob Stacey has asked, do you actually have any of your championship winning bikes?
Actually, my bikes, I still have my 76 bike, but I'm helping Terry Good, who is a collector, and he's in the process of making a museum in the Chicago area. And so my bike's are there now.
Okay, very nice. So that'd
And
be good to see.
he has an awesome collection of works bikes, and I think he has the best collection in around the world these days.
A lot of work going on in the workshop.
Yeah.
So you actually at the track now, then, are you, Roger? Or
Yes. Yeah, I'm at the stadium. The guys are servicing the bikes from the yesterday's race and preparing things to go out practice tomorrow.
yeah. Okay. I've got another question. Someone's put, "Hi, Roger. There's no name on it. I still have an original 1979 Roger DeCosta BMX. How did that connection come about?"
I endorsed this frame maker, BMX frame maker called Mongoose. And I still have people come by sometimes at the races to autograph one of their old bikes. Yeah, it's funny.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Motocross people, they seem to have long, good memories because, it's been over 40 years now that since I retired from racing, and I still have people come by with paper clippings and things like that. I actually got about a month ago, somebody brought me a cover from a cycle magazine, in the English cycle magazine, newspaper actually at that time, with a shot of the start of Namur in 71.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, people certainly keep all the stats and details and pictures and that. We've certainly seen that over these live interviews we've been doing. So it's really good to get into the memories and all that. It's been great. I've got an interesting one here. I've got Richard Peck, who's got a picture of you with him there in his profile picture. He's put, "Roger, what's your best Ron Lachine story?"
Ron Lachine. It has to be at the Motocross the Nation in France. We were staying in this motel, and we usually did a team dinner Saturday night, and I did not find Ronnie when it was time to start eating. So I go look across the parking lot for him and knock on his door and knock a few more times, and finally he opens the door, and there he was in his bedroom. Yeah, Roger, I'm coming over. But I noticed that on next to his bed there were some empty bottles, and so anyhow he came and gobbled down his food quick, and all of a sudden he's gone again. So I go after him in the parking lot again, and there is Ronnie leaving with the rent-a-car with a girl with him. So I stopped him, said, "Ronnie, we're gonna kill you tomorrow if you don't perform. If you're not back and don't perform tomorrow, you're dead. I'll make sure of it, and so does Ricky Johnson and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Oh, Rush, don't worry about it. I'll be ready." And he was ready the next day. He was unbelievable. He was the fastest guy on the track. So Ronnie was
very good character, a bit of a character. A great rider. That's a great story. Thanks for that. Obviously, you've certainly worked with some amazing riders and interesting characters in your team manager roles as well. A lot of people have been asking me to ask you about Travis Pastrana. Must have been interesting to look after him. Obviously, a mega talent as well, but I should imagine he'd have been quite hard work in a sense as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was. There was two Travis, the one without the helmet and one with the helmet. Once he had his helmet on, there was no controlling.
Yeah,
Without the helmet, the nicest person in the world, and I think the most loyal rider I have ever worked with.
yeah,
Yeah, awesome person. But
yeah.
once he had his helmet on, he had to jump or do something. Yeah.
I could imagine he did some crazy jumping when he wasn't supposed to be. I should imagine.
Yeah. But he's still maybe for sure, one of the most popular riders today in
Yeah,
the general public.
yeah,
He is still a big following.
yeah. Amazing character for sure, and rider. What was it like working with like your James Stewart and the donations and stuff like that? Did you have a good relationship with James Stewart?
It was hard to get to know James. Yeah.
Was it?
Of course,
Yeah,
as everybody knows, he was a huge talent,
yeah,
and when things were going right, he was unstoppable.
mhm,
But it was hard to get close to him because he had a lot of tight group around him, and
his father and that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What about Ricky Carmichael? How was it? What was it like working with Ricky?
Ricky that was really fun to work with him, and it was a big pressure because you knew he had all the ingredients to win, so you it created an indirect pressure because you knew that he was going to deliver, but if
Yeah,
you stopped, it was all on you. And uh, Ricky was. Uh, there was something about Ricky. He was always worried, and especially when he was racing Stewart, when it was either him or Stewart
yeah,
that would win, and he would come after practice, and he would be a second slower than James, and he would come, Roger, I don't have it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. It's a man. I'm washed up. And then. We tried to do everything we can, set up the bike as good as we could, and then he would go out, and he would fight and fight and put the pressure on James, and many times he would end up on top.
yeah. He was always consistent as well, wasn't he, Ricky? Where probably James was a little bit probably on the edge at times, and but they had some great battles for sure.
Yeah.
Did you have any superstitions when you raced, Roger?
No, not too much. No.
That's
No.
good. That was easy then.
I always believed that when I went to the start that I had a chance of winning, and
Yeah.
maybe from the outside that was kind of, maybe I was being stupid, but I always believed that when I went to the start that I could win. It didn't matter what bike I was on. I thought I was on the best. My bike was the best.
Yeah,
And I try to make our riders today to believe that also, because I think it's super important.
Mm. Yeah, it's certainly a big mental game as well, isn't it? This days.
Yeah.
You obviously won an amazing 6 motocross donations yourself, and then obviously becoming team manager and doing the USA and being successful. How different did that feel to you to win it as a rider and then win it as a manager as well? What was the feelings of that?
Winning as a manager is great, and it's probably the next best thing to winning yourself. But there's nothing that replaces winning yourself,
Yeah.
And it's one of my best memories is winning the GP, like in Russia, and be on the podium from being from Little Belgium in this huge country, and listening to national anthem. That was pretty amazing feeling.
Proud moment, yeah. Very cool. Quite a lot of people have asked me about this question as well, so I thought I'd ask you. Everyone can remember. Can you remember? They were saying about when Jeff Stanton went over to the last 250 GP in Japan. I think it was 91. Was he actually sent over to help Trampus Parker win the world title in front of Mike Healy, or was that just something that he was going to anyway? A lot of people have asked me that.
No, he was over. Honda wanted to win the race, and that was the main reason. There was no, the at that time, motocross in Japan was important, much more important than it is today. And the team manager, Mr. Miyakoshi, at that time, he wanted to win, and he would invest in what it took to win. He was really good at getting proper budget for the race team and all that, and he was a team manager that at that time he was in charge of road race and motocross, and he wanted to win.
I think he did go over there and win, so he obviously got his wish, so that was good. You won obviously five 500 world titles, obviously an incredible feat. Was there any more that were special than others, and what were your memories of obviously capturing them titles?
Well, of course, the first one you win, you dream and hope, and it takes more time than you want, and you finally win one, and that feels fantastic. And then in '74, I lost to Mikola. It went to the last round, and ended up losing it, and then to win it back in '75, and the decisive moment in the championship was at Eiki's track in Finland, just outside Helsinki airport in Tikkurila. That was Eiki's track, and the week before we raced in Italy, and it was like a crazy downpour, and I DNF'd both motors while leading. I was in Alessandria. The most rain I have ever seen, the most mud I've ever seen in one race. More than in England or in Belgium,
Was that?
in Italy, and it was that the area is clay, and it was unbelievable.
Wow.
That was in '75. Yeah. So the following GP was in England, and now I had a big deficit. And at the start of behind the starting gate at that time was a huge one-piece metal bar, and behind the gate, and just before the gate drops, my clutch let go, and the bike takes off, hits the gate, stalls, and so at the start is a big U, and there I see Mikola coming in the lead, coming back the other way, and I'm trying to start my bike, and got it started last, and I ended up winning that GP, passing Eiki with a half a lap from the end, and wow. I think that was maybe my strongest race in my
special
career.
Race. Yeah, very special race. Cool.
And I ended up winning back the title then also.
Very good feeling.
Yeah.
I've actually got someone saying hello Roger, greetings from Panama, and thank you for visiting us in 1980.
Oh yeah.
In Panama, yeah. So that's a nice one. Someone's put, Tony Hale has put, hey Rog, do you ever put a few laps down on the track these days?
No, it's been a while since I've been on a track.
Is it?
Today with all the jumps, I'm safer on a bicycle these days than on a motorcycle. So I still ride. I still have ridden trail riding once in a while, but very few in between. And but I try to ride my bicycle once a week and get some exercise.
This is quite interesting. Wim here has put, hi Lee, can you ask Roger, how does it feel when beating the Belgium as a US team manager at the Motocross of the Nations? Have you never had a bit of heartache when beating your home country?
Yeah, it is. At the beginning, it was a little bit of a weird feeling, but when I the first year I did not race myself at the nation. I had offered to work for the federation and help the team, but the answer I got was that no, they have it under control and they did not need me. And so then I decided, well, I'm going to help the American team because it doesn't make sense a country like America not being represented at the nations.
Yeah.
And that's how I got interested in starting to help the US team.
Was that when you got involved with the Honda guys, wasn't it? That went
Yes.
to the nations.
Yeah, at that time I was part of the management at the Honda for the Honda team, and we had actually 5 riders, and we Dave Arnold and myself, we decided that we'll take the whole Honda team and take them to Europe and see what we can do. And they were all really young riders with not so much experience, but they were enthusiastic, and our bikes were good. We had to work hard to make them live in the sand, but we went. We were there early in the week and spent some time on some sand tracks and get things sorted out, and then we created a good surprise.
Yeah, and then an amazing, wasn't it a 13-year streak before the Team GB won 94, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing times. What's obviously the situation? Everyone obviously talks now about obviously Team America and the Motocross of the Nations now. What do you think needs to happen for the Team USA to be part of that now and that sort of thing? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with COVID. Hopefully, things have improved a lot, and the good thing is that the US outdoor series has scheduled the series in a way that we will finish early September, and Luongo, David is also trying to make room so that the American team can come when it's finished in the US and before they have to start training for the next Supercross season. So there is efforts being made to make it more possible and make it a little bit more convenient.
Okay, brilliant. Fingers crossed on that then, because we definitely need a Team USA in the Motocross of the Nations. Who were the biggest influences in your career, Roger?
Biggest influence. I did not come from a family that knew or was involved with racing. My dad did not race. I did not have any family member that raced. But there was, when I was young, when I was a teenager, there was yearly trials close to that in my neighborhood, and there was also I lived next to a pub, and that was used as a checkpoint for endurance races that were popular in the 50s in Europe, in Belgium. And I that's got my interest, and then I was lucky. There was 2 or 3 kids that lived on my street that were older, and they had a big English bike, the Nortons and BSAs and Triumph, and so I would hang out at their house, help them clean their bike, and then they started letting me ride their bike a little bit when I was 13, 14. My closest friend, he had a BSA Golden Flash at the time, and I would ride that bike around, and then another friend he had an old Triumph, and we would take the Triumph into the wood and take turns and ride it, and that's how I developed my initial interest for bikes, and I was then soon I started working in a motorcycle shop, and that's how I got going.
Very cool. Obviously, there's very sad news about a legend lost to the sport in Joel Robert. You must have some good memories and times with him over the years.
Yeah, we had some crazy memories with him, and yeah, as everybody now, Joel was a real character and huge talent on the bike.
Yeah, yeah, very sad loss. Um, Obviously, what are your thoughts on you've had some amazing accolades. You've been given, obviously, you've been introduced into the Motorsports Hall of Fame, AMA Hall of Fame, Cycle News making you Motocross Rider of the Century in 2000, named an FIM legend. It's all obviously amazing to hear. What does that mean to you? Does it make you proud of your career? And
Well, it feels good, Of course, it feels good, but I feel that I'm really lucky that I've been able to make a decent living doing my hobby, basically, and
yeah,
I love what I do. I love being at the races. I like being in the race shop. Um, I feel good if I can help a little bit on making a difference on helping a rider be better or making the bike better. And I am lucky to work with a really good competitive crew.
yeah,
Um, we we have really good people on our team, and I'm fortunate to work with KTM these days. That is a company that is owned by Mr. Pierre, who is a super enthusiast of racing, and I'm really thankful that he is spending so much money in racing, and now with adding another brand,
amazing.
it's more work, but it's also it's good for the sport because it gives another few riders the opportunity to get support, and
Yeah,
the more supported riders, the better it is, of course.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely creating a lot of interest. So,
and then I'm also lucky to have to be working with Pete Beyer, who is in charge of all racing in at KTM, and
yep.
he is pretty impressive himself to be able to juggle all the stuff he's doing, all the responsibilities he has at KTM with MotoGP, rallies, the Dakar, all the big rallies, Motocross, Supercross, and he has an impressive mind.
Yeah. What does your actual job entail exactly? What involves your job at the minute now, then, Roger?
Well, they include me in more things than I like now, and in a way, it's nice, but it's also um, sometimes I feel that I'm not capable to do all the things that they like me to do. That I think they sometimes overestimate what I'm capable of. And, but yeah, they a couple of years ago they made me a board member also from KTM North America, uh, which is the US, of course, and Mexico and
Yep.
Canada. And
Yep.
I'm a director of racing, so I oversee what KTM, Husqvarna, and Gas do,
Gas. Yeah.
uh, and what I'm still involved on a daily basis with the bikes. Um, I like to spend time still in the machine shop and help when we need to modify something or make a little part for a test or so. Um, I go to the test track. I like to watch the videos with the crew and see where we need to get better. And so I like the diversity of all the things that happen around the race team, and um, I like to stay abreast and understand what's going on and keep up with things. And there's still a lot of things that I need to learn and try to do better.
Yeah, see that your riders you've involved with now. What are the guys like? Obviously, they seem fairly different characters. What's Barsha like to deal with? Is he?
Basha has been really awesome, and
Yeah.
he's been really fun to work with.
Mhm.
He, he, he is the first guy at the test track in the morning,
Is
and
he?
he's a happy person. He talks a lot more than I expected, but in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
Um, he is a really cool guy, and you know he has personality. Maybe some other riders. I don't say that all the riders like him. He had a tendency to bump into people. Um, he rides pretty aggressive, and
Yeah.
but I think he has calmed down also and learned that it's not necessary to bump into people to other riders, because
Yeah.
the more enemies you have on the track, the more difficult it will be to win a
Yeah.
championship. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys obviously must have been over the moon in the first round. Obviously, him and yourselves and those guys to win Gas first
Yeah,
Supercross. It's
but
amazing.
Supercross at first win.
Yeah,
I think that's the only company that's ever done that.
it's
Uh,
amazing.
and he had bad luck yesterday. He
Mm,
hit one of the tough blocks and broke off the shift lever.
yeah.
But still, he was stuck in first gear for about one third of the race, and he still finished ninth. So
Yeah. And still winning the championship as well. So
yeah,
all good.
leading by 1 point, but it's a long way. There's a
Early
long way
days,
to
yeah.
go, of course.
What about Marvin? What's he like to work with? He's obviously looks a very technical rider, Marvin. And what was he like to work with and as a rider?
Marvin is a super nice guy,
Yep.
and but in the past, his weakness has been that he he, um, he gets down on himself too easy.
Oh, does he?
He wants to be perfect,
Yeah.
and when he makes a mistake, I feel that his mind stays too long in the mistake instead of
Moving on.
Ricky Carmichael made a lot of mistakes. He made
Yeah.
hundreds of mistakes, but he never remembered any of them.
Best way.
Yeah, he was always thinking in front. What
Mm,
happened next, never
yeah.
what happened past.
Yeah. That was a good thing then. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Cooper? What's he like? Obviously, just won a title recently in the last year, bit before we last.
Cooper, he is he's a little bit of a sandbagger in testing and in practice during the week.
Hmm.
Uh, but his qualities are that he can focus and stay focused under pressure. He's a guy that can ride with somebody on his butt, and not let it affect him.
Hmm.
And he is pretty straight after a race. If he has not performed well, to take responsibility. Why if he is at fault, if it was him, he's not going to blame the bike.
Yeah. He takes the responsibility. That's good. Does he? Obviously, he must be very keen to try and obviously win the title back after Eli last year.
Yeah, that's his goal, of course, and
Hmm.
he has had a tough start. The first race he did not ride good and made had made bad choices the weeks before, the couple of weeks leading up to the first race.
Yeah.
He started changing some of the suspension settings based on the practice he was doing in Florida, and he carried that to the first race and wanted that on the bike the first race, and then he was too soft, and it hurt his chances, I think.
Yeah.
So yesterday he was better. Not a good start, but he was better as the race went on, and ended up in fourth.
Yeah.
But he's going to need to pick it up to win.
Yeah. Yep. But he improves, so hopefully he does. I've got quite a few people asking me, what do you think of Jeffrey Hurlins? Obviously a super talent as well.
Yeah, Jeffrey he's he's one of those guys. If he stays on the bike, he wins.
Yeah.
If nothing happens with the bike or a crash, or he's amazingly fast, and his effort, his commitment is 100%. 110% maybe. Yeah.
Is there any plans for Jeffrey? Is he mentioned anything about coming to America at all? Is he staying in Europe or?
We talked about it at some point, but
Yeah.
it's like with what's going on now with this COVID thing.
Yeah.
It's hopefully
Yes.
this thing is gonna sort itself out soon.
Yeah, hopefully quicker than that. Richard Peck also mentioned, has he noticed that the Troy Lee design gas factory bikes look like 1980s Hondas with the red plastics, red frames, and the blue seats?
Yeah, it's a red KTM. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice. If you could give any advice to any youngsters currently racing in the youth motocross, Roger, and wants to go pro, what sort of advice would you give to those young guys?
Don't think it's gonna be easy, and take responsibility. Take responsibility for you, for the result, for the outcome, and be prepared to be committed 100% if you want any chance to achieve your goals. But excuses don't win.
No, no, that's for sure. The Honda you finished your career on, what was that bike like, the Honda? I believe, didn't you win your last World Championship race that you actually did?
Yes, I won my last race. I was at Edelbrook,
Yep.
and what my job was at Honda was I'd been hired by Mr. Miyakoshi to basically to race. He had given me the choice to race a couple of years and then to get into the management side. And my job was to develop the bike, basically to help the engineers and test and develop the bike along the way. And then Graham and Malherbe, they were there to win the championship. That was the goal. And so I did a lot of testing, mostly suspension, chassis suspension, and that also resulted in a few DNFs because of the things we were testing. Like the first GP in Switzerland, I was leading that race, and something happened inside the shock, and it's got stuck full bottom. And but I think overall we did an okay job. Malherbe ended up winning the championship that year, and I still ended up in fifth overall. So and I think the bike became better and better, and it was fun working with the Honda because our boss at that time was really eager to be the best, and he, like I said before, he was able to get good budgets for the race team, and was able to get the support that we needed to do a lot of testing and get a lot of options. And uh, by by 82, our bike was unbelievable. We were on another level, and 82, 82 to 85, the Works bikes at the time were unbelievable.
And was that always your plan? Was it to go into team managing after you raced, or did that just sort of happen?
No, it just happened.
Yeah.
I like to work with the bikes since I was a kid, and then one thing led to another, and the Japanese seemed to like work with me, and they kept giving me opportunities, and so I'm really thankful also to Suzuki to give me a chance first, and then the years at Honda, and I've been lucky to have these companies to work for, and to be able to do what I love doing.
Have you got any memories of any of the British guys, like your Graham Noyces and guys like that? Did you respect them British riders? How did you get on with them guys?
Yeah, I like I said before, Bickers was my buddy. We spent a lot of time together, and I have a lot of memories with him, traveling with him, mostly in the US, a little bit also in Europe, Czechoslovakia, and so on. At that time, we were going to CZ pretty often, and John Banks, I was in contact with him quite a bit also. Those were the main guys, but I had a chance to meet Leslie Archer a couple of years ago, and I used to have a picture of him in my little workshop underneath my parents' house, and I read a lot about him and all that, and he's one of the few guys that champions I had never had the chance to meet. And a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was, I had a chance to meet him at a reunion in Italy, and he was such a cool guy, and the bike he had, and everything about him, and stories that I have heard of him, and Mingles, who was from Belgium also, and so on. That was really interesting and a good memory, and I'm happy that I met him before it was too late.
Yeah, that's really cool. Everyone normally gets asked this question. I've obviously quite a lot of people have said, would Roger like to come to Farley Castle for the VMX donations? Obviously, with all these problems going on, is that a possibility in the future?
I've been invited many times. I think it's David that.
Dave King, yeah.
And I really want to come there. It's never worked out up to now with the US schedule and all that. But hopefully, the next one I can make it. I would love to.
Yeah, that'd be great to see you in the UK for sure. I really appreciate your time, Roger. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. That'd be amazing. Absolute honor and privilege to speak to you. I really appreciate it. Thanks very much, Roger.
You're welcome, and hi to all the motorcycle racing fans there in England.
Really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Thanks very much. Thanks, Roger. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Wow, brilliant. What a man. What a legend, Mr. Roger Da Costa. Thank you very much for that. Awesome. What we thinking, people? Really pleased to get that hour with him. Got in as much as we could. Hopefully I got in a fair few of your questions. Some of the questions I had here as well. Appreciate everyone firing your questions in. I tried to get through some of them as much as I could. I had some decent ones down that some of you guys had put down already as well. I'll just put that up for Craig there so you can see that. Just a few things I want to say as well before you all guys go. Some of the competitions I've got going, I've only got 47 tickets left now for the brand new bike, for the 221 Yamaha 250cc. 47 tickets left, so if you want to message me about that, I can put that up on the screen for you in case some of you guys haven't seen. Just take that comment down there. Got the bike still going, so there's 47 tickets left there now. I have seen a few Facebook messages coming up about the bike since I've been on here, so much appreciated if anyone wants to get back to me. Also, tomorrow night, people, I'm with Steffi Bow, former professional woman motocross rider. She was multi-world champion, AMA champion, and she did some very cool things. She's an Italian, so she had multiple Italian championships to her name. She's also did a lot of many firsts. She was the first to get a pro license to ride with the men as well in the AMA, in the Supercross, and in the GP as well. And also, for any of you gaming people out there, you probably might know that she was one of the first ever women to be on a console game. I remember it myself. I believe it was Supercross 2000 and another game called Freak Style as well from EA Sports, I believe. So that'd be really cool, really interesting. So I've got Steffi Bow on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. UK time. So I'm looking forward to that. I've mentioned about the bike tickets. Also, next Monday evening, 7:30 p.m. UK time, I've got ex-British Championship rider and GP rider Nathan Shelton. I'll be speaking to him on Monday night, so looking forward to that. 7:30 p.m. that one is UK time. Looking forward to that. Many of you remember the race spec days that he did, and I remember him on Yamaha as well. Very good British Championship rider. I remember him up front on the 125 GP days. That was really cool. Also, I've still got, I'll just show you here. I've still got, I think it's about 50 odd tickets left for the full Chad Reed gear. As you can see there, with the MXGP on it and everything. He's got his signature on it as well on the shirt. There we go. Don't know if you can just see that. There we go. You see the signature on the shirt there as well. That is the actual kit off his back from the Matterley GP that he did. And there's the bottoms as well, the full bottoms, shift bottoms there, look, and then you can see the butt patch, the 2.2 and the Yamaha and everything on it. So I've still got about 50 odd tickets for that left there, £20 each. So if anyone wants to get to me, that's the full kit of Mr. Chad Reed that we all know is now retired, but an AMA multi-champion, Supercross champion, and runner-up in the MXGP as well. Great rider. Now he's retired, so that becomes a little bit more. That's a great piece of memorabilia there. So that was from his MXGP ride in Matterley Basin. Full kit there, off of him after his last race there. So that's really cool. If anyone wants to get involved in that, let me know. Be appreciated. Just taking a few, just checking out what you've all said there at the end. Looks good for 76. Mark Furness sure does. And doing a great job as well still. Craig, great interview. How's your nerves, mate? He's a true gentleman. Yeah, we got through it, Craig. A few panics at the start. I was speaking to you off air as well. All the best as well with your safe Swansea riding. That's great. If you want to go on if you go on Craig's Facebook, he's got a petition to campaign for tracks in the Wales, Swansea area. He's also got another track going on now with his friend that I did put up his comment just a minute ago. Better watching your interviews and what's on TV. Thanks, Phil. I think I'll take that as a compliment. James Stenner, whoa, that was the bollocks. What a top guy. Well done, Lee. That must have been surreal. Roger Da Costa, that's got to be a big one for CV for sure. Really appreciated that. That was amazing. Even him just texting me and ringing me tonight was enough for me. Without getting to speak to him for a good hour, it was amazing. Roger Da Costa, wow. Peter Harvey, fabulous interview. Thank you, Lee. No problem, Peter. Pleasure. It was all mine being with him. James Murphy, not so many that have done well beyond racing, a true professional. Richard Peck's one of Mr. Da Costa's big fans there. Mr. Richard Peck, how's it going? Hope Matt's good as well. I'm sure it's his birthday as well today. I'm sure I put up on Facebook earlier. So happy many returns of the day to Matthew Peck. What an awesome guy, still my hero. There we go. Nice one, Lee. Tony Hale. Thanks, Tony, for your questions as well. Phil Thompson, brilliant interview, Lee. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lee. Very good interview of Pride of Motocross. Not sure who that one is. Happy days, well done, and thanks. I see most of you, though, are now registering your name, so I can see you. Colin Morris, great work, Lee. Thanks, mate. Ian Chesterman, quality, Lee. How you go? How you going to trump that one? Ooh, I'll always do my best. Ian, it's going to be very hard. Richard Reed, how's it going, Richard? Great. Could listen to him all night. Yeah, he was very honest as well. He's always honest and open as well, which is really cool. I really appreciated that. Hub, thanks, Lee. Hub, thanks for coming on, Hub. My man from Holland. Not too sure of those. Take a bow yet again. Thank you very much, whoever that is. What a legend that was to speak to. Barry Jackson, brilliant interview. Matt Evans, thanks, Matt. Thanks, Lee. Steve Cross, really good. Thanks, Lee. Sean Bass, great job. Thank you. The Mother's on, great interview. Your bias, but thank you, Mother. Hope you're all right. I hope the thumb's still healing up well. Dan Merrifield, good job, Lee. Bob Stacey, well done, Lee. Thank you very much. Thank you, Roger. Yep, for sure. Thank you, Roger Lee Britton. Oh, Mr. Wheeler, come on right at the end. Look, Brian, trust you to come on late. You're normally quick at the start, Mr. Wheeler, but you were late out the traps there, weren't you? Come on at the last minute, just as he left. Look, the Ryder Cup 20 USA, 20 US. Could the man sort that? Top man, Brian. I have to get you on one of these lives, Brian. We could have a good laugh, I reckon. What do you reckon? I know you did that, one of them original videos way back when the guys were just answering my questions on their own into a camera. That was pretty cool back then when it first started, probably in the March lockdown last year, when all this sort of first started before it snowballed. John Nichols. I did mention Graham Noyce at the end on a scale of 1 to 10. How crazy was Graham Noyce? Pretty crazy. I don't know if any of you guys saw my live with Graham Noyce in his living room. That was pretty good. That's on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Fair play, mate. Thanks, Kyle. That was great. Many thanks. I'm not sure who that was, but thanks for saying that. Lee is the man. Thanks, Mick. That was great. Many thanks. Stuart Hare, how's it going, mate? Top interview again, Lee. Well done, mate. Roger DaCosta. Where do you go from there? Exactly. Maybe. Where do you go from there? To be fair, it doesn't get much better than that, does it? It doesn't, does it? But maybe there's a couple of names behind me that I wouldn't mind. That'll be one of the competition shirts. Well, they all are them three there behind you. I've got the full kit of Jeffrey Hurlins. That'd be cool to speak to him one day. I've got the full kit of him to do as a competition with the signature on the back of that number there. I've got signed on the back of the shirt there, look, Mr. Ken Roxon from his GP days, signed as well. So that's another competition to do. And that one there is signed on the back of Ricky Carmichael's shirt. It'd be amazing to try and speak to him one day. If I'm putting some big names out there that I'd love to do, Mr. McGrath would be cool. And thanks to Ben Piggin as well. It's got, I don't know if you can see that in there. Nope. Always the other way around, isn't it, when you do it? There's a 1998 Motocross Donations shirt there that he sent me. I really appreciate that. Mr. Wheeler. Now we'll give you a little bit of time. We'll give you a little bit of time, Brian. We won't put you on straight after with Rog. We've got Steffi Bow tomorrow night, so that's a different one that I've not seen any women motocross star interviews out there, so I'm looking forward to that. And she looks a great character as well. Is Steffi, so I think that'll be a really interesting one tomorrow night, 7 p.m. UK time. So if you guys want to tune in for that, that'd be cool. And then I'm going to do Nathan Shelton next Monday night, 7:30 p.m. And then I think I've got booked in on the Thursday. After that, I've got I have got Alan Carter, former motorcycle racer. He's now a coach as well, doing the motorcycling. Also, he had a famous brother, Mr. Kenny Carter, Speedway, as well. And also, Alan's got a book out there as well that he's re-putting out there again as well, because it's sold out a couple of times over. So we'll be talking about this book and all that as well. I really want to get that book as well. So we got that to come. Brian wants to come on in 20 years. I was thinking 20 days, Brian. February time. Maybe around my birthday. My birthday's on the 12th of Feb. Maybe get you around there. We can have a few drinks. I know you like a few drinks. I think the last time I caught sight of you was at a Wickwar Evo meeting, and you looked a little bit worse for wear, because I was doing that like, why is he not riding? And then I saw the pictures the following day, so soon figured out why. Phil Thompson, no better man than you, Lee, to interview. Top man. Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Phil. David White, keep up the great work, Lee. Thank you very much, people. Was that all I needed to say? So I mentioned about 50 odd tickets tonight for the full Chad Reed kit. Only 47 left for the 221 brand new Yamaha 252 smoker. So get at me for tickets for that, people. And then, as I mentioned, Steffi Bao tomorrow night, 7 p.m. I think that's going to be a really cool interview. She looks great fun as well. The Italian former pro motocross and supercross rider. She was a great rider and very famous back in the day in the 90s and into the 2000s. She was a great rider and very well known. So that'd be cool to do that one as well. I think that's everything I covered. Yep. So I will see you all tomorrow night then, people. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I did. Wow. Roger Da Costa, amazing. Really chuffed for that, buzzing. I will thank him when I get off of here. What a man. Hopefully he might be even able to hook me up with a couple of nice ones. Would be cool. Brian, after my vaccine, I will be first in. Wow, my missus works at the doctor's, Brian. Maybe I could hook you up. Oh, no, sorry. Maybe I couldn't. After the vaccine, I will be first in. Hopefully I can get you on in February, Brian. That'd be cool. Around my birthday, be nice. We could have a couple of drinks, as I said. Don't know if you like the gins. We could have a couple of gins, like the Stefan Everts gins, or don't know what you're into. Bit of everything, aren't you? I can imagine. Seeing you with the bottles and on that last one you did. So that'd be cool. We'll have a good fun on that one. So then, people, I will speak to you all tomorrow night. Hopefully a lot of you will join me for the Steffi Bao interview tomorrow night. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's definitely going to be interesting. Thanks, Brian. It's all the thumbs up. Cheers, mate. That'd be cool if we could do that in February. I will contact you on Facebook about that one. So I will leave you with my dad's saying, as I always do, that it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. That's what he said. We've got to try and live by that, haven't we? Especially in these times. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for your time. So hopefully speak to you all soon. This will be recorded as well. So don't worry, anyone that didn't see it, if any of your friends and family would want to see this will be recorded. And I will put it out there tomorrow. James Stenner, well done, mate. I'll be there tomorrow. See you tomorrow night then, James. So I will share this out there tomorrow and see you tomorrow night for Steffi Bao. Should be interesting. Ciao, Bella. See you soon.